Possibly. Well, possibly. Well, no, it was actually tough because game four you won, so you didn't want to switch up the lineup after game four. So I would have kept what that they had. I feel like Monster Misfits played the series as best as they could. I wanted Monster Misfits to win so they can keep the trend of the lower seeded team winning. But Backrug was just such a great offensive team. It was going to be tough to keep that team down and to keep them at 2 goals, 3 goals. So for them to play as well as they did for 4 games defensively against such a great offensive team who's coming in with Jazz Magic with 75 goals, 60 goals, and 55 goals for Lorac, and then your top goal scorer only have 49 compared to the offensive output that they're putting up. So they played as well as they could have, and they tried to keep this series a low scoring game, and they were successful for a while, even winning the game. But that was going to be hard to keep going. That would have been very hard to keep up to just keep such a great offensive team only scoring 3 goals a game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before the game even began. That Backrug has just been unstoppable on offense, and then they come in here and prove it by going up against probably one of the best defensive teams in Prospect. I feel like that's the case, but I'm not 100% sure. And I mean, I think that we are. Would you be ready to start talking about the next series?
Let's ask the producer: are we ready to roll into the Master Series, or are we going to take a break? We're going to All right, we're just going to roll into the Master Series, which we have the returning champions, the returning champion Eggplants going against the Crash Tompactors.
Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure of watching either of these teams, unfortunately. And you said which? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Which team is the reigning champs?
Eggplants. And they
Eggplant.
returned 2 players from their championship team. They returned General Zippy and Rob from the last season's championship team.
Wow. I mean, anytime you go against a team that's won a championship, it is a little scary because you know they've done it before. They've been under the pressure, so it's going to be really cool to see this Crash Compactors team go up against them. And for anyone in this situation, I feel that you're going to be a little nervous. You don't want to be, but it's kind of hard not to. Do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Well, both of these teams they've already faced off this year. I mean this season, and they split a 2-2 record. They played one series, split 2-2. So they're already familiar with each other. They've already played against each other, and you really can't tell by the head to head matchup who has an advantage.
Yeah, I mean they look very good, like similar against each other. It's gonna be a good series. I feel. We could see another game 7, but who do you think will be the underdog in your opinion coming into this?
The underdog actually, I do believe, is the Eggplants. Let me pull up the stats, but I believe the Eggplants is the number 8th seed actually coming into this, and Crash Tompactors is the number 5 seed. But that really doesn't mean anything because Eggplants beat the number 3 seed to get here, so it isn't like they haven't. I mean, if you were number 8 seed, you had to fight to get to to this point. So I don't really know if I don't. Technically, the Eggplants are the underdog going off the record and the seeding, but it's like, I mean, you are the returning, and 2 players from last season's team are on this season's championship, potentially championship winning team. So kind of the underdogs Eggplants, but not really. I would actually say Crash Compactors are the underdog, even though they have the better ranking and the higher seed, just simply because Eggplants does have that advantage in terms of experience.
Yeah, I mean, experience goes a long way in any sport, but especially in Rocket League because they're going to be used to this pressure. I mean, throughout the whole playoffs, you're never seen. You're just playing your matches. But once you get to the finals, you'll see that is very different because I mean we have a lot more eyes than your normal stream matches.
Yeah, we do. And going off of that, eggplants, they were here last year or last season. So, they this isn't new to them at all. They have that experience. So it's kind of it's on Crash Tompactors. Can you beat this team that has championship experience and has two players that are fresh off of a championship win?
Yeah, because I mean it all. Anytime you win a championship, it always rolls over into the next season. So it'd be great to see back-to-back champions, but at the same time, you never know what's gonna happen until we get into it. But I feel you want to go ahead and do predictions.
Predictions. Oh, I'm gonna say 4-3 eggplants. I'm gonna go 4-3 eggplants in this one, simply because, as we said, the championship experience, returning two players, and we're gonna look at the stats, and I'll tell you more then of why I'm going eggplants. What is your prediction?
I'm gonna differ from you a little bit, or technically against the whole table, flipping the table, but I think it's gonna be Crash Compactors in a close game 7, maybe even overtime in a couple of those matches.
Definitely can't go Crash Compactor simply because I do not like their name. It bothers me. I have OCD, and the way they switch their names, switch the beginning of the names from trash compactors to that, it just bothers me solely. So I cannot go crash compactors. I can't. I'm gonna get tongue tied saying this game saying that name all series. I cannot go for them.
You want to just go with Crash then?
I'm gonna go with Crash losing this series 4-3 to Eggplants.
That's fair. But yeah, I mean, looking at the stats, they are really good. Very even. 34 wins coming out of Crash, and then you have 30 coming out of Eggplants. 30 losses for Eggplants and 26 for Crash. But the goals for and against and goal like that's so close. I mean, it's hard to even say anything about it. I mean, 140 to 145, 127 to 121, 231 to 233. I mean, there's barely anything to say, and the shooting percentage is about the same. It's like almost like someone drew a straight line down, except for in the wins and losses. But every other stat is like a straight line down the middle.
Yeah, everything about these stats say we are in for a battle. Just a complete battle of two evenly matched teams. And as you said, there's really no, I mean, goals for is only a 5 goal difference. Goals against only a 6 goal difference. Saves, 2 saves difference. It's the saves against, but that just means the eggplant's putting up more shots, that are being saved by Crash. And that's where I would leave it at that, just Crash. Uh, but yeah, so we are in for a battle. This right here is a heavyweight fight that we are stepping into.
And coming and looking at the player stats, you can tell that Polar Bear and Dylan both get time on the pitch. That both of them are probably interchangeable, and that's a good thing to have. And the shooting percentage for Dylan is amazing. Although he has less games, he does holster a great shooting percentage in there. But then you look at Mixta, and he's definitely leading for the team. And with 41, 44, and 166. But then Bex as well, having 5 games missed, but most goals in the team, a lot of assists, and less shots actually than Mixta. So it's going to be a really good time for Crash. And would you like to go over Eggplants?
The eggplants, yeah, you have their leading scorer is going to be actual General Zippy, even though General has played less games than Fluffy. So it looks like their starting three is going to be Fluffy, General Zippy, and Rob, who, if you compare and contrast to the Crash team, kind of identical. Kind of identical. Minus, yeah, just completely identical. No really separation. You're seeing a decent shooting percentage coming from General, and great. I like Fluffy stats. 45 goals, 35 assists. That is an amazing stat line. I just really want to shout out Mixter, his stat line. He has to make Steve Nash proud. To have 41 goals, but then have more assists than you have goals, that is a point guard uh, dream right there.
That white chocolate play style. But
Yeah,
I think that we're about ready to get into this match. Do you agree?
I'm ready. Round one. Are the players ready? Is the question.
It looks like we got everyone in here. So, yeah, we definitely have everyone in here. And we're seeing them get into the match now. This is going to be a great game. We also forgot to shout out Rob being part of Eggplants. He is also a fellow caster.
Will we see another fellow caster win a championship? Let's see if we can keep that trend going. And as we start off with offense from Eggplants, and mix the turning directions with that great clear right there. And Fluffy's going to take control of it. Gets another touch, which was a shot. Would have loved to see a pass. Would have loved to see a pass right there. We saw a shot off the top.
And we just seeing really good pressure coming out of this Eggplants team. And as I say that, though, great defense and a counterattack coming out of the Crash as well. But I mean, like you said for the last game or last series, passes need to be made. And a bad touch by Rob, but able to fix himself. And like, it's just back and forth. It seems like we're watching the same series again, a back and forth battle. And hopefully it doesn't go the same way with how it changes up near the mid part of the game. But that we get a, I hope we have a great series on our hands. Honestly,
Game one is all about setting the tone. If game one is going to be an indication of how the rest of this series is going to go, you just got to expect a lot of speed and a lot of just aggressive play styles. Both teams came out. Normally you see game one, both teams try to figure each other out, but they played already 4 times and splitting the series 2-2. I guess they've already seen all they need to see from the other team because they've just coming out and just playing very quick, very fast, getting a lot of pressure from both teams equally. Not one team just sitting there allowing a lot of time of possession on their side of the field. And we're going to see a goal by Polar Bear right there. Very nice shot to sneak it past the defense, and we have our first strike coming from Crash.
yeah, and I mean they were putting the offense on, or they were getting offense put on them the whole time. So it's great to see that turnaround coming, and I hope that that's an indicator of like we can't just expect a team to play the exact same way the whole time, like we did in the prospect finals. And a great air show there by Zippy, but Polar Bear is there to say, get that out of here. And both teams just keep playing consistently. That's the biggest key in this game in general. Not matter what rank you're at, your consistency is what's going to carry you. Because I mean, I hear all these plats and some diamond be like, yeah, but I can air dribble. I don't know why I'm stuck in the rank I am, and it's because they're not consistent.
Like you're taking shots at me at this point. I feel like I feel like you're. But as we see, General Zippy is going to try to get some offense going for this eggplants. A pass that was been a very tough shot, but a nice pass for them to try to get it going. And Rob just gets bumped off the ball. That's gonna be a tough save by Zippy. Gets it done. Mister's gonna try to send it back towards the net. Isn't able to. Is stopped very quick. And now eggplants are trying to make a run. And we talked about how Eggplants had that championship experience, and right now, and Crash is not respecting that at all. They do not care. They are bringing it straight to them. They are not backing off. They are meeting them at the rim. They are 50-50 in everything, and we're seeing Eggplants are trying to get something going, but uh, they are making it. Crash is making it very hard for them to do so. And we already see Crash Tompactors. Polar Bear already has 3 saves, and Mister has 2 saves. So they are getting shots up, but the defense of Crash is on full display as we enter this last minute soon, with Crash up 1-0 in game one. Masters Finals.
And what a shot that would have been from Polar Bear. He's just been such a leading force for this team, keeping both sides guessing. I mean, the defense is speaking for itself. Every shot the Eggplants has took, Crash has been able to save it. And what a shot by Mixta, able to finish it. Great passes around the board. Beck straight down, and he's able to redirect that perfectly. And both Bex or Mixta and Polar Bear both have a goal now, and they have been the leading forces for this. But don't count Bex out. I mean, you saw that amazing pass downfield.
This isn't your usual game one. You know, normally you're kind of waiting for a team to find a rhythm. It looks like Crash has already found their rhythm. You know, Eggplants are looking for theirs, looking to get some offense going, and Crash just isn't giving them any opportunity to do so. So this is how you want to start off a game one, coming from Crash. You know, just start playing off the bat, playing like a team, trying to get something going right there. Nice read to not allow that goal to happen. General Zippy tried to get it past the defense, was not able to, and we are 15 seconds away
And
from Crash taking the first game, and that third goal by Polar Bear is a great way to cap this game one off. Although we have 11 seconds to go, a lot can happen. I feel like it's safe to call it right here that Crash is going to win game one.
definitely, I mean, we could have caught it as soon as that goal went in, but
Yeah.
that's not going to halt either of these teams from going in. Like I just
Oh,
said, oh, what a pass there from Polar Bear from the ceiling, just passing it straight down to mix the, and he was perfectly in position. That was such a great play from both of the guys, and great comms definitely in both for both of them. And I mean the rotation. What do you think of that so far?
the only problem I'm seeing, obviously, I'm seeing great rotation from Crash. The only problem I'm seeing in rotation from Eggplants is at the net. They're playing very great everywhere else, but it's just at the net. It's just they're just completely breaking down, and Crash is taking full advantage of it. And not only they take full advantage of the breakdown and rotation at the net, they game one with a 4-0 win.
Yeah, I mean the stats speak for themselves. Coming out of here with 7 saves as a team, Crash played phenomenal. They, I mean, they saved everything that went towards their net from Eggplant. And I mean, do you? I mean, I know it's only been one game, but do you think we need to see a swap come out right here, or do you think we should wait till game two?
Oh no, not right now. I just feel like we saw a team and Crash just came out way hotter than Eggplates came. They already, you know, like I said, game one normally is when both teams try to figure each other out. Crash came out like, oh, we already know everything we need to know about you. We're about to put it on you. And it's like I think Eggplants. I don't think they need to make a swap. They need to just stay calm, gain your composure, and play like you've been playing the rest of this. This season. You know, you've been playing very well. You know, you have that championship experience. Use that to your advantage. I don't believe a swap needs to happen right now. We'll see what happens in game two. If we get another 4-0 win in Crash's favor in game two, then we can start talking about swap.
Yeah, man, you can tell that Crash had some great. You can tell that Crash had some great scrims going into this. I mean, they are playing perfect on all cylinders. I don't think they messed up really one time, like a major mess up. Maybe some bumps every now and again or miscues, but that's about it. Ain't nothing just major that cost them the game.
We're seeing Bex trying to get offense started, try to start this game the same way they ended the last game, fast and furious. And we're seeing Eggplants get something go. Oh, that was a opportunity just a little bit to the right. And you would, I know that player would love to have that shot opportunity back. And Bex is going to take control of it on this side. Wasn't able to take control of it, was stolen from him, but gave it back to the other team. And now Eggplants is going to try. They're putting a lot of pressure up on this right side of this field. Let's see if they can get a scoring opportunity. They cannot, but the ball is coming back to their side of the field. So we're seeing definitely already more pressure from this game by Eggplant. Put up all of last game.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing both teams spitting great right now. And what placement by Polar Bear? He's just showing that he can do it. Oh, he's playing the offense. He's playing the defense. He's just playing such a great role all around. And I mean, what do you think he could have done to prevent that? I mean, maybe put someone in his face earlier.
Yeah, put somebody in his face, actually make the save. Those would have been great things to happen at that time. And and going to see a goal right there, a response. That is their first goal in 6 minutes of gameplay by Eggplants. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going and get some more and take the lead in this game to tie this game up.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, like I said, I hope that we see a great game coming. And what a demo there! But Polar Bear is able to follow up, and this Crash defense has been untouchable. Other than that one goal they messed up on kickoff, but other than that, it's been great. And Mixta there with a touch, unfortunately messes up the follow through, but Mix is already back. I mean, great touch there, and we're able to see just great comms coming out of here in rotation wise. I mean, anytime somebody misses, there's somebody there to replace them.
Nice read by Mister to take control of that off the backboard. And let's see if Polar Bear can get a pass. Does, but I think Mister was kind of afraid to go for that because they were the last person back. And now let's see if they can gain control of this. And Rob puts a pass up. Mister was not there, but the ball stays on the Crash's side of the court, which is what you want. Beautiful flick by Fluffy. Guys gets the demo. Can they get the goal? And they do. Eggplants up 2-1 in this game two finals game.
That was a great play there by Fluffy, and good job to finish it by General Zippy. But Fluffy there to adjust. I mean, he got it past mixed up, and then he demoed the last man, just completely eradicating the thought that it could get saved. And I know that if you're crashed right there, you feel a little bit bad for that happening. You want to get it back. And they do get a demo there, but it doesn't work out in their favor. It gets cleared back downfield. And good 50 there by Polar, able to maintain possession. And Mix is going up. But, I mean, have you watched? I haven't, like I told you, I haven't watched any of the master teams play. How do you think these two teams are playing right now?
Looks like in game one, it looks like Crash was the only team that found their rhythm. But now you're seeing the Eggplants. Looks like they're kind of finding their stride right now. They're playing like you expect them to play and like they have been playing this whole postseason. And let's see if Fluffy can make something happen off of that weak touch that came off of Crash. The Crash team cannot is on the opposite side of the field now, and Polar Bear has a beautiful shot opportunity. Kind of rushed it a little bit. I believe he could have been a little bit more patient and actually scored off of that. And yeah, it just looks like we're seeing Eggplants now actually have found their stride. It looks like just Crash came out, like you said, could have been better scrims or whatever. Just came out more prepared. But this game right here, Eggplants is looking like okay, yeah, now it's to get some shots in.
Yeah, I mean, both teams just constantly going back and forth, and hopefully they can tie it up. Like I said, I'd love to see some overtime games with these two teams because they are just so good that it would be great to just see the sudden death mentality come into play. Like the fact that, okay, if we mess up here, this could be the end. But we won't see that for a couple more games. We're just going in game two now, so I hope that I really hope we get a good series here. I mean, we had a good series to begin the night, and I hope that another one to finish it.
We're definitely going to get a good series out of this one. This has turned into a brawl right here. These teams already played each other this series. Both of them went 2-2 against each other. So you're seeing a lot more aggressive play. You're seeing a lot more physical play. A whole lot of demos. I think way more demos probably in these two games that we might have saw in the old series combined that we just watched. Like there goes another demo and Polar Bear. Oh, nice bump to to uh, to set up the goal that was clearly about to be saved. But who got the bump? I cannot tell.
Makes
Just oh my goodness, just broke his back on that one. Pause.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah, pause. Sorry, let's keep this PG-13. But hit him hard. That's not any better. But it looks like we are going to get that overtime game that you want, unless Crash can. And Crash cannot. So we do get the overtime game that you want, and we are only in game two of this series.
I just had to speak it into existence, you know. But both teams are playing back and forth. We did see a slip up there, but I don't even think it was a slip up. It's just Mixta was there to bump perfectly whenever it was needed, and Polar Bear was able to capitalize. And I mean, I feel like if this team starts to capitalize on these bump plays more, it's going to be a troublesome time for Eggplant. And the passing
Yes, but
play,
oh, this is dangerous. And Rob just knocks that away. And yeah, it's been a lot of man. Oh, great pass, great shot. Game two goes to Crash.
and Bex is there to finish that right there with a great angle. And I know that some people, I mean, that's a great comeback right there from 2-1 with like, I think, what's that last score? Like 30 seconds left?
Yeah, something like it.
And then they just win the game in overtime. I mean, everyone on that team playing amazing. Polar Bear with 2 goals, 2 saves coming out of Mixta, 1 goal coming out of Bex, and 2 assists. Mixta playing that well-rounded player, twos across the board except for goals, but you don't always need goals as long as you're hitting in all the other categories. But I, it's hard to say how this is gonna end up. I mean, that's Crash with 2-0 right now, and I'd hate to see a 4-0 right now. We hadn't seen one all finals, but could this be the first one?
Could very well be, but even if it is, it's going to be a tough game. That was a tooth and nails game right there. Those both those teams were battling, and give it up for Polar, who was the third, clearly the third player in rotation on during the regular season. If you look at the stats for this Crash team, but Polar has came out and just leading this team right now to victory.
Yeah, I mean, they're keeping Eggplants is keeping the same squad, which I can't argue with that because coming in they just barely lost, so there's no real point into switching. But it is you are still down 2-0. You got to keep that in mind, even if you barely lost the game.
Yeah, and I believe it'll be a little bit harder for Eggplants to switch simply because their other player only played 16 games. So they clearly have a rotation that they've been happy with and they have been winning this season. It's just right now has their number and is just playing very great, and Fluffy with the shot and blocked by Mister, and almost nice way to stop the transition offense.
And
And we're
I mean, like you said earlier, the switch for Eggplants would be hard. But if you look at this Crash team, their switch wouldn't be bad because their other player has the game experience as well. I mean, it's not like a stranger coming into play. And almost a goal there by Mixta. Gets a good bump after though, and Polar passes it to center. And we like both teams are playing amazing. It's just really of who can play better in the end.
Is right now you're just seeing so much more pressure being put on the field by Crash and the Eggplants, and that I don't know what that was, a pass or a shot, whatever it was off, and that is a whiff by Eggplants, and Missus is going to steal the ball from him, and let's see, we can go back, and Fluffy has done it a few times where kind of taking some ill-advised shots that aren't very high percentage shots where you were hoping for a pass there, instead you get a shot that really wasn't going to go in. So let's see if we can if Fluffy can get this team involved more and not settle for shots the way that Fluffy has been. so far. And Mister right now taking control of it. Definitely looking for a pass. Pops up, stolen by Rob. And now we're seeing Eggplants trying to get something going, trying to get oh, they do have 3 shots, so it's 3 shots to three. All shots from Eggplants coming from Fluffy, so you definitely need Zippy and Rob, who are the returning players from last season's championship team, for this Eggplants to get offense going for
And
themselves.
I mean, you see all sides of the field are being played amazing, and the bumps and demos in this second and third game have been really well executed. Like right there, opens up the infield, but Fluffy's able to capitalize, get back to it. But the bumps and demo, I feel like in just the second game alone, there were more than the entire of the prospect finals, which is crazy. But it's not like they're just going through, running through demos. Every demo they make or bump has a purpose. Whether or not it works is a different story, but they don't just do it to do it, you know. And
Mister could not get that save. Made a great attempt though. Just could and got the car on the ball. Just couldn't get the power to knock that off track. And General Zippy put Eggplants up 1-0 as we enter the last 2 minutes of this game three. That they are down 2-0 in this series. Let's see if they can keep this lead and even keep this lead and add to it, which General Zippy is trying to do right now. But Mister having no, kicks it to the other side of the field. Let's see if they can get some offense going. And cannot, but Polar Bear with the pass, Bex with the very tough shot. And even though that was not going to, because the defense was right there, I did like the fact they challenged it, not just simply allow the other team to take control. And we're going to see Eggplants again try to get some more offense to try to increase this score to give themselves some more leverage as we enter into the last minute of this game. General Zip is going to take control of it. And Bex kind of with the ill-advised hit, just hit it perfectly for Rob to score. And we are 2-0 Eggplants going into the final minutes.
yeah, I mean, both sides are playing well, but this Eggplant's team is starting to get into a rhythm, and you know how dangerous teams can be once they get into that groove. I mean, uh, I've had it happen one or two times for myself. Very rare, you know. But
Oh, Polar Bear with the nice air dribble. I envy his mechanics. Good. From the other side, that was very Steph Curry. Like from the other side of the field, he started. And to score and to bring this to 1-2. Eggplant still up, but this is definitely a game. Let's see how this ends with the last 56 seconds. And Eggplant's trying to get control of this. In General Zippy with a lot of awkward touches on that one, and Crash with some offense, trying to get some offense going, was not able to. Ball just stolen. Let's see if Rob can get a pass knocked off by Polar Bear. Shot put towards the goal by General Zippy. That was, but they maintain control of the ball, which is what you want when you're up 2-1 with 30 less than 30 seconds left. Could have been a dangerous 50-50. Now this could be a scoring opportunity for Eggplants. Let's see if they can get going. And that is another goal by General Zippy. Very good passing by the Eggplants.
they are just looking at the team right now. I mean, I know that the comms going into this team right now are perfect. They're just talking about everything. They're making sure that they keep everything in order. Because I mean, that's what it seems to be the biggest problem is that miscue on defense. But right now, that is looking amazing compared to the first game and even a little bit of the second game. But I mean, what do you think this team needs to change for them to
Think
take the rest of the series?
I don't think either team needs to change a thing. Both teams are playing to their strength and keeping these games close. You would like to see it just play out the way that it's playing out. May the best team win. We just need to think. we just need both teams to try to, focus on, controlling the midfield. And you saw both teams play great. It's just, Eggplants, scored more goals and won that. But, the shots were still even on both sides. The saves were kind of not so well, just one more save going towards the Eggplants. Had to do some quick math. Really, I know it's gonna sound crazy. The only thing that different was the goal and the assist because Eggplant scored more, but it was both equal amount of pressure from both sides. Both put up great shots. Both played decent defense. It was just Eggplants capitalized on more of the opportunities than Crash did in that game.
I mean, both teams coming out here are just great. I mean, I can't say anything other than that. But we do. I feel like we need to see something more coming out of either Bex or Mixed on offense. They're playing good on defense, both of them. But I mean, Polar Bear has been a solo force. It seems like. I mean, except I know the second game it was really spread out, but the first and this third game was all the Polar Bear show. So I think that's all. If we see some of that, I feel this Crash team will take the next few games easily.
And right now we are seeing Eggplants try to try to get something going over here. And Crash also trying to we had some great 50-50s going on in this game too. A lot of aggressive play by both teams. Right now, it's just a pop up for either team to take. Let's see who takes possession. Eggplants is going to do a little bit, get a better touch a little bit. It's going to stay on the Eggplant side, and that's what you want as a team. Let's see if Fluffy can get a pass on. Just, it was a pass to a teammate that wasn't able to capitalize. It was a tough shot, and Rob completely stops what Crash has going on. And Polar Bear comes again with a very nice air dribble. That is something that they're going to have to watch out from the Eggplants is the air dribbling abilities of Polar Bear. That's the second time we've seen that from Polar this series.
That's what I meant by consistency earlier. Like it's starting to show and it's killing because I mean, ain't some people can hit those air dribbles, but he's hitting them at such a frequency that it's almost impossible to stop because he just keeps going. And what a shot by Fluffy! Great pass by Rob as well. I mean, that was just a great play of this team. General put a shot up, Rob put a shot up, and Fluffy was there to finish it after getting everyone else out the goal.
Yeah, and that's what makes both of these teams exciting and both hard to defend is that they do play so well as a team. You had I can't remember who it was had more assists than they actually had goals, which from a Rocket League standpoint is amazing because I don't know about anybody else. I do love assists, but I do love to score a lot more goals than I do like assists. But to see a player just play that unselfishly on either team is just crazy. And we're seeing now, can they get another assist going? They cannot. Eggplants stop that offensive push going by the Crash, and now they're trying to get something going on their own. Misters take control of it with a flick that was not able to get over General Zippy. And let's see if Polar Bear is going to take control of this. Wins the 50, tries to go for the goalie. Fluffy gets out the way, and Rob is going to take control of it at the midcourt. And this is a beautiful scoring opportunity. And Rob takes advantage and scores in transition after I think it was Mister went for the bump, did not get it on Fluffy, and Fluffy takes control of it, passes the ball to Rob. 2-1 Eggplants League. They are playing like the defending champions that they are.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, you just see that great passing play coming between Fluffy and Rob. Just the chemistry there is great, which those are the two that stayed, or was it General and Rob?
It was General and Rob that stayed.
Oh, well, I mean, Fluffy's fitting in that perfectly. The chemistry coming out of him is great. We see Polar in the air. This is a scary sight to see, and he does
Oh,
it again.
just absolute consistent, as you say, consistent from Polar Bear. This isn't one great goal he scored. This is this whole series just being absolutely a hard player to cover, to guard, to keep track of, and making his own shots. We talked about the passing ability of Polar, but just the ability to also create his own shots and Rob with the whiff and oh no. And we have Crash is trying to get some offense going right now, and Eggplants are going to push it to their side of the field. Let's see if Fluffy can take control of this. Cannot. General Zippy is going to take control of it. And we're just seeing a real great back and forth by both teams. This is what I talked about. Both those teams were very even stat wise. There was no really any difference from either team. No real advantage. So I am not surprised to see the way that this series is going, where it's like both teams are struggling to get anything going, and well, anything consistent going. Both teams are just playing very aggressive towards each other.
I mean, it's not really the fact that they're struggling consistency. I mean, they're both consistent. It's just the fact that they're going up against such a good offense to defense standpoint. I mean, we saw it in the stats that they're about even when it comes to face off. I mean, if you were to look at this fight card, you would look at it and be like, "Wow, this is going to be a very even."
Has been a very even series, and we are even right now in the score with 2-2 with a minute left. Let's see if we get another overtime game, which Casting Buddy wants, or if we get a goal right here and we don't, and just Bex with a beautiful save to not only save it, but then to keep the control of the ball, to push the ball away. But Rob says that does not matter. I score, and you cannot deny me.
Once again, the Rob and Fluffy show coming out to play. I mean, they been back and forth with each other the whole time. 4 shots on goal for Rob. He's just having a great game. I mean, him and Tech showing out for the casters, showing that we can do it too. Question sometimes if we're just smart or we can actually play. So
And oh, almost another eggplant goal. They are just playing completely relentless right now, taking a lot of shots on goal. And Bex may have saved another one right there by pushing the ball away. And oh, I thought we was going to see some offense by Crash on that one, but Eggplants is just completely keeping the ball on the other side of the court and wasting time. But we have a shot, but we also have a save. Almost had another shot and another save, and we are 2-2 in this series. This is turning out to be the series that we thought it was going to be, where both teams were very matched up well and aren't really giving the other an inch. And you're having if you're playing this game as a player, you're having to fight for everything that you're getting.
yes, I mean the captains here. I mean you can't really say change it up because there's nothing to change up. They're just playing really well on both sides. I mean no one's. It's not like it's one person's fault. I mean even Bex and Mixta stepped up this game, playing really well. But you can't blame this on a single person. It's a team effort, and they need to just figure out what's going on, what's the problem, and address it and get to work. I mean, there's no real issue right now.
And Crash just needs to find a way to, as you called it, the Rob and Fluffy show, to cancel the Rob and Fluffy show for the rest of this season. Because the way that they have been connecting with each other, the chemistry that they have is just amazing to see.
Yeah, I mean, they've been going back and forth with each other. I mean, each goal last game came from one of the two, and whoever scored who had an assist from the other. So if they can find a way to halt that offense, they could definitely cause some damage.
And this series is knotted up at 2-2. We are entering game five of the Master Finals, where we have the returning champion Eggplants going against the team that wants to dethrone them, the Crash Tompactors. And let's see if
You're
Bex can
adding
get
to that
that.
drama.
Cannot. I was trying not to, and I was going to say I was going to keep it professional and use and say the whole name, and tried to, and I got caught up and hung up on it as I thought I would. And we're seeing a fight for the ball right now, where both teams are just not allowing team to get any multiple touches on the ball. It's kind of looking like ping pong right now. And we have a pass from Bex to Mister, and Bex puts up a pass, and this is going to turn into a 50 opportunity. It did not turn into a 50 opportunity because Bex did not go for the ball. And we're seeing the ball shoot towards the crash side of the field. Rob with the beautiful touch, but Bex went up high to get it. And Rob is going to get control of it again. And we have a demo. And right now, Eggplants has the advantage, and but came back right in time to save that. And let's see if Bex can get a pass. Does get a pass. It is not strong enough to get to their teammate. And just the great team play from both teams. This is how you want every team to play in terms of team play and getting each other involved and trusting your teammates. You see a lot of trust of the teammates coming from both teams.
That's what I was about to say. It's not even just in the comms, but it's in the trust that you have for your teammates. Because right now, Bex is going for it because he sees that polar bear's bag, and I will be quiet. But he's
And
just
and,
right there. I mean,
and we talked about the Robin Fluffy show, but General Zippy is guest starred in that episode and set up the pass for the goal by Rob. And
yeah,
this
and
gave five to give Eggplants the 1-0 advantage T.
yeah, I mean, there's just so it's such a diverse team. It's not like one or two people are good. The entire team of this eggplant squad. I mean, you have the two vets coming back that are playing great, and then you just have Fluffy that's come in and took over. He's look at that air dribble right there, staying on it the whole time, and then oh, Zippy misses the touch, but Fluffy's back up, and another great bump, and Zippy's coming in to guest star again.
We are 2-0 Eggplants in this game five game that is in this series that is knotted up 2-2. And you talked about it, how let's talk about how Polar came out of the Crash team playing very great and still not playing bad, but you have seen that Eggplants have found a way to slow Polar down on offense. You haven't seen Polar get the scoring opportunities or the air dribbling opportunities. That's something that they've stopped into. They've noticed and realized that Polar is very great in mechanically in terms of air dribble, and they have stopped it. And you see it right there. Fluffy not allowing Polar any time to get anything going. They've seen it before. They saw it in game one. They saw it in game two. They say we do not need to see it for the rest of this series. So you're going to need to see. We're going to need to see Crash get some more offense from someone else, not named Polar, because they have completely scouted and shut down Polar in the second half of this series.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not that Polar's even having to tote right now. He's really not doing. It's not that he's not doing anything, but his team is playing really well around him. I mean, right there, Bagstad was putting great on there, and I mean, he's the top scorer on the team. And actually, Polar Bear is at the bottom right now, but it's because his team is trying to pick up the slack. It feels like because it's not that he's playing bad. It's just he's trying to mix it in. Because, like you said, they're knowing how to stop that air dribble now, and since they're stopping it, they got to find some other way to score.
Have
And this is
numbers.
it
They
right
have the
here.
numbers advantage, and that right there will make the score 2-1, and just completely taking advantage of the fact that it was 3-0
At the
for a
critical.
time. Yeah, Rob got back at the too late, and now we are 2-1 going into this game five with a minute and 8 seconds left. Let's see if Crash can get the equalizer, or will Eggplants win this game and be one game away from going back to back and possibly beginning a dynasty in this Masters tier.
That would be incredible to see because, I mean, the, it's hard to find any times of not consistency in the teams, but even though you won last season, but you're missing a whole player. You're still able to pick up somebody that just fit into your system perfectly. I mean, that's impressive from not just the team playing together, but the GM to pick somebody that can fill the gap of their previous player. So, props to all that were involved.
And we are 13 seconds away from Eggplants taking this game, but Crash has an opportunity to score, but the ball gets back on the Eggplant side, and they're just going to try to dribble that out. And we are at 0 seconds. It would have to be a 0 second
Wait,
goal. Polar,
wait.
oh, can it get it start? Can it get it going? Can it get it? The ball is still up.
Oh my gosh. Could we see this
This
right now? Ah,
I don't think nobody's there, and yeah, nobody's there. Perfect hit by Fluffy to kill that ball, and we are now 5 minutes away from Eggplants repeating as champions, unless Crash can have something to do with it and win this next game.
correct you. Because, I mean, it's anyone's game still. Although this could be the series finale right here. I mean, Rob, Fluffy, and Zippy have played amazing. And but you look right here, and Polar Bear wasn't at the top this time. Bex and Mixta are trying to get in that top spot now, which is great. But they need to learn to. I mean, look at Eggplant. Their point spread is within 100 points of each other. Like there's 100 point gap between each player bear almost. But then you look at Crash and Bex is 400, and then the other two are 200. You need to have that similar point spread and again among the whole team.
The craziest thing was the fact that in that game, Crash actually had more shots than Eggplants. So to have
Yeah,
more shots and to still lose the game, that's something to watch. That's just a testament to the type of defense that Eggplants has been playing in this series against them.
yeah. I mean, it was 7-5, which is a great total for either side. They just weren't able to capitalize.
General Zippy starting off with a goal. I didn't want to say anything about it. I didn't think thought that was just going to be a touch to hit the top or something like that. But to get that over the defender at that angle 4 seconds into this game, making a statement, and they are playing like the defending champions right now.
Hmm. And I mean, I guess since we said something about Rob, and ever since we said anything about Rob and Fluffy, Zippy has been going off. I mean, he's letting us know that it's not just the Rob and Fluffy show; it is the Eggplant show.
Yeah, and we talked about Mister's uh, stats at the beginning of this of the series. 41 goals, 44 assists. You would love to see an assist from Mister right now to get Polar involved, because that was their offensive spark, especially in that game one and in that game two. And right now they have completely shut Polar out, which is has been the difference. They almost got another
Oh,
goal. Great goal line defense by Crash to not allow this comeback to be any harder than what it has to be. But now we beautiful bump, and we're seeing Crash push the ball towards their side of the net, but not able to really get a substantial touch on it. And Fluffy is able to get the ball and beautiful touch to a pass, but the shot was extremely high.
yeah, and this has just been a great showing from both teams. There's no reason it's gonna be close. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every game has been within one goal of each other, and it's looked amazing. I mean, neither team just looks like a dominant force like we've seen in some of the finals, in some of the games and all. Like, I mean, last final, although it wasn't a 7 game series, it was still good, and I'd love to see that again. I hope that this isn't the last game. Like, me and you both predicted a game 7. So it'd be great to see that, not just for the prediction, but for the people.
People at home watching around the world, the millions and millions. Pass and a shot that is off. Can they get the second shot attempt up? No. Well, they got it up, did not get it in. So that just went crashed Tompactors' way because that could have been a goal for Eggplants. It was looking like it was going for Eggplant. Maybe they rushed it a little bit more. And we talked about how, Eggplants are the defending champions and lost the player and still to come back and to be in this position. And especially in a league that is so as tough as RSC.
Yeah, I mean, it could be your night on any night, and right now it looks like Eggplant are just having a great night. Although they didn't start off having one, they have really turned it around. They got warm, and they snuggled up, and they've just been comfortable this whole time.
Yeah, and I think the difference has just been the fact that they've found, and we have a demo in the net, but they weren't to capitalize of it. I think just the difference has just been the fact that they found out, they realized what Polar was doing and what was making this team, this Crash team, so effective, especially in that game one 4-0 win by Crash, and they've just been completely stopping it. And it just looks like Crash is just in full control, and we almost saw some offense coming from. Oh, can we get a goal? No, Rob knocks it away. Even in that, it just looks like Eggplants just look so poised, like they just look like they're just so in control of this game right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're the whole team of Crash is playing good. Like that is a great placement. Although that like how good they're playing, it's just not good enough to keep up with this team offensively or defensively. Like almost a great shot by Rob. Good job for Mixie getting there, but they do have a mismatch right here. But Fluffy's just able to finish. Polar Bear almost coming back to his roots, but it's just the defense is shut out right now. Could we see a change up right now? It doesn't seem like it. That's unfortunate. But Mixta is trying his best, and
The
oh,
shot attempts that
oh,
Crash had and to not get none of those to fall, that was just a great scoring opportunity. But Eggplants with a great goal line defense and a goal that pretty much pushed this series on ice. Well, it's a 6 seconds, so a lot can happen, but that right there may have been the goal that puts it on ice. Great steal by General Zippy.
yeah, I think the fat lady may have just sung right there on that one. It's gonna be hard to come back. They got to get two great kickoffs. That we see it right here, and with that demo, it does not seem like it. It seems like it's going the other way, making a statement right there. Such a great teams, honestly.
That was, and these are your master defending two-time champions, Eggplants. You just saw Crash just it was a tale of two. The series was really broken into two halves. You saw Crash just play very well the very first part of the game, very first part of the series in game one and game two, where Polar was just running rampant. But then Eggplants made adjustments, went into half, made came back and just completely just it looked like a different series, even though it was still competitive. Eggplants showed you why they are the defending.
Yeah, and I mean, they came in here, but we got to go through one important thing right now. Who do you think is the MVP?
Who I think is the MVP. Oh, that's tough. That's tough because we did have the Rob and Fluffy show. I'm gonna say Rob. I'm gonna say Rob. I believe Rob played every player on that team played very well, but I'm gonna say Rob played slightly a little bit better and also was a big factor for them on offense.
Yeah, and I mean, that's two championships just speak for itself, and they played phenomenal either side. But Rob, I would have to give it to him as well. I don't think there's a more deserving person. Maybe Fluffy, because he did switch it up with Zippy in that second or yeah, their third win. So it's a toss up between them, but I'm gonna give it to Rob. I mean, he played phenomenal.
Yes, this was a phenomenal series. Eggplants and Crash Tompactors that we saw. Your champions Eggplants, and in the very first series we saw Monster Misfits lose to Bach Rug 4-1. This has been a great night of RSC action, and tune back in Wednesday where we will see more games and